next one is the 4 negative actions of the verbally. Like the first one is lying. The experience similar to the cause from having lied in the past lives is that not only we often criticize and belittled, but also we are often lied to by others. And this experience to similarity to the cause of the negative action, which is the lying. And sometimes it is really truth. And we didn't do nothing, but all the times criticisms can occur. And maybe you never done something bad things, but all the time people criticize to you. And a lot of there is like kind of the criticize. And also like the belittle. And also it's like someone's, maybe it's like cheating, insult, and also it's like don't believe what you say. And also received, principally here, criticism. And we can to say is the experience effect lying, similar to the cause, we receive a lot of criticism. And criticized by the others, maybe it's like, of course, we say it's like they criticize to me. I never done something bad, but they criticize. We complain, we are angry to the others, but maybe this is the coding our own negative actions on the past. And also maybe better to be tolerant. For example, first Patrul Rinpoche says, someone's to pray to you, to say good things, rather than to criticize us. Better. Why? Because if someone says you are good, maybe inside they are like kind of hesitated to you. Inside this person's, but artificially, politically to say, you are so good, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it's like if ourselves is maybe this person say me good, then like become more arrogant, proud, and according that it's very difficult to see our own secret defects. It's truth. But someone's criticized, of course, first time is sad, and like kind of a little bit unpleasant. But reality is the criticism is very good. Maybe it's someone is like kind of digging and to showing our secret defects. That is the criticize. And then says like this kind of, that kind of criticize to me, say like this and that. Really that is my characteristics, my behaviors, and like this. Really is it a truth like this? Then it's we can to correct ourselves. And obviously sometimes it's very much difficult to correct ourselves. Me is all the times like this. I have full of the secret defects. But of course, I myself, I want to improve myself. Pretendedly to show the others, to say, oh yeah, I'm superior. But then you look at yourself, how it's doing. And then it's like kind of then there's many things. And people direct to criticize, maybe shame, embarrassed, and it's like this. Why is it? And then it's a reality to turn like this. Yeah. Then it's like, this is my secret defects. Okay. if I'm changed, I'm become the better. You know, it's like in our Westerns. I mean, it's like in England, there is one journalist. He's interview one black lady. She's looks like smart, a little fat, sorry. And she says like, how's in your life it's become very famous, you success for the, and she says like, sometimes in our life made a lot of mistake and wrongdoing. These things is for me is like very much acceptable. And also when I did wrong mistake things, people criticize. I never become angry. It's kind of the part of the educations. If I mistake, someone's point out, I will to change and become better. And also I did something wrong, like intentionally. And someone's figure out that to say you did like this. I did? Oh yeah. Okay, I want to change. It's education. And like this, in the Buddhist perspective, exactly like this, you know. Of course, we rely on the spiritual friend, teachers digging out my defect. Each moment digging out, then I cannot fighting, I cannot argue. And then it's like, what can I do? Oh, I need to change myself. And then if I'm changed, I tend to say, okay, teachers criticize to me. Then it's like, okay, I'm really like this, that, and to change. I've improved myself. And then teachers become more quiet. And then it's finally I completely changed myself, become the authentic, maybe teachers respect and prostrating to you like this. And then it's like someone's criticize, and also someone is like angrily to criticize to us. It's maybe also is like a big present. For example, the first pattern, you receive criticize. This is the big kind of present by the God or the deities. You should to accept them. If we cannot correct our secret defects, negative things, how we become the enlightenment. And also maybe yesterday, last month, last year, we done something, such negative things. With knowing or without knowing, maybe mistake or mistake. It doesn't matter, we done something very criminal things. But then it's like, today we changed. And then we are different. You know, in the like kind of in the Buddha's, according to the Buddha's teachings, there's everything's nothing fixated. Yesterday, criminal, evil person. Today, maybe changed, you are Buddha. Yesterday, nobody's prostrating to you, respect to you, criticize to you, and it's like mocking and like considering as you are the worst evil person. But yesterday in the evening or this morning you changed. Maybe now everybody respect to you, prostrating to you. Maybe it's like this. We have many histories. Like for example, Jetsun Malaripa, there's many masters. They are brave. Beginning they did something wrong. Certainly they recognized their own secret defects and then they changed. Then it's like become the enlightenment like this. Sometimes it's like we did something, maybe it's like people criticize, received, and then we don't need to lose our life. Say it's like, yeah, now it's like, you know, I made mistake, I'm bad, I lost my self-confidence, very much negative. And what we need, oh yes, I did something wrong, very sorry, but now I want to change. You changed, fantastic. You are not bad, you are good, because if you change. And then it's like, then it's forward in the front. I want to develop myself, I want to change. And you start changing process, people more respect. Now says, wonderful, this person's changing, and excellent. Lesser criticism, little enemies, lesser, and increase your qualities, positive qualities. Also decrease your negative things, like this. Then criticism is the best. And also criticize occurring. You don't need to angry. Well, good. Maybe I did something wrong. And in this case, one is correct your own defect. Second is you practice patience, great path. The sixth transcendent, in the monk of the sixth transcendent, patience is the parameter of the patient. And also it's like correct like this. Others is like criticize to you. You just be tolerant, accept, practice patience. Criticize slowly disappeared, go away. I make joke, okay? And once when I was in Europe, say it's like very first I have very strange name. Kamju Kempo. So Kam Kempo means it's like areas. And also I changed my names. My name's Kempo John. Why? I don't want to say normal name, blah, blah, blah. And then certainly, like, I have like kind of there's name of the kind of high, and it's come from the Mundoli monastery. The father of the Mundolins, and the others says, blah, 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 means criticize a lot. And I received the one also is like the letter from that, maybe. And then it's like I called, there's one Lama, it's called the Dzogchen Ranyak, it's very wonderful teacher. I called to him. I said it's like Dzogchen Ranyak, the head of the Mundolins. And he recognized there's some Lamas. Yes. Do you know there's called the Ranyak Patrul? Yes. I'm his brothers. Someone says recognize, someone's not says, do you know? He said, I cannot judge the Dzogchen Ranyak. He signed that. If you want to really curious, you can ask to say. Okay, then we talk a little bit. Then I said, I'm very sorry, I'm not brother, I myself. And sometimes like this, it's myself, I have big kind of disturbed to this. If just before my own way, then okay, it's a small, it's nothing important. Now I have this kind of the big responsibility. I have a little disturbed my life. And also, of course, like on one hand, nice, but on one hand like this. And then it's a high lamas, like holiness. They need to taking care. And if you recognize, it's really official ways, very important. Just to give paper, all the time papers, it's very dangerous, destroying to the like this. I receive a lot of criticism. This Lama, okay. Now, if yourself, maybe you can come to in the monastery, we can to talk nice. Don't worry. Sometimes criticism, the wave is coming. You just be tolerant, accept. They're going to like this, suddenly disappeared. Whatever they talk, you can do, they can talk. Why you need to become the strange way? Why you say like this? Then I respect him very much. That is truth. Okay. Whatever you say is blah, 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 talking. You don't need to be angry. You don't need to say, be tolerant, practice. Then finally, people's mouth is tired, you know. Talk, go high. And then it's like going down. Then finally, they cannot talk. And like this, it's sometimes criticized. It's okay. You criticize more to accept it. This criticize maybe it's true. I have this kind of, it's like defects I have or not. And then secondarily, you can don't become angry. Oh yes, okay, you can talk. If you be angry, then it's like challenge. You say bad, how you say it, then other ones become more angry, more criticized, more like, then it's more high. Then it's like a never ending. Then it's like become enemy, then want to kill each other. Then we need to make war. If you just yourself to ignore, just okay, you can criticize. Oh yes, you are right. I'm very bad. That's you are right. And other ones say, what can I do? No, you criticize, welcome to. Then it's nobody's big criticize, silent. Like this, sometimes criticize is the wonderful. Of course, we sometimes receive a lot of criticism because maybe in the past life we lied. I think I lied a lot in the past life. This is obvious. It's like I receive negative karma now in this life, but doesn't matter. It's okay. I survived enter there. Maybe I not be challenged. Whoever criticizes, okay, and they can't. I maybe naturally die. If I'm like be challenged, why you criticize? I criticize to them again. Then it's like revenge each other. Maybe my life is more dangerous, and then we need to prepare the chemical weapons. And don't need to be tolerant. Oh yes, you criticize to me, and there's benefit. I'm repeat again. One is like, really, am I like this? Oh yes, am I like this? It's true. How it is that I'm like kind of the fathom or measure, it's French, to measure myself. Am I a good person or bad? Am I doing wrong or right? And I'm like this I'm a day improve. I'm doing myself improve. I mean, nothing to check myself. All the time think I am superior, I'm good. And you look yesterday we watched the holiness. He all the time says, I'm an ordinary person. I'm all the time considering, I'm just a Buddhist monk. And just one he said, I'm visiting to someone, I'm like same as this person, emotional, mentally, physically. He considered that. Then is we can communicate to him. He understand to us. We can to talk to him. Wonderful ways. Even that the holiness to say like this, he says more comfortable. Holiness, I am holiness. God to high. Cannot people all the time insulted. Maybe it's also unpleasant. Like this, to take the like low profile, and then it's the fathom our own self. We have to study very well, practice very well, correct ours very well. And then we don't need to lose self-confidence. Yes, I'm doing some positive. For example, holiness says, when I practice compassion, kindness, then I have proud. My life is wonderful. And he says, sometimes I'm angry and I don't practice compassion, kindness. Then he says, I'm sad. I think my life is horrible. So, like this, really, it is like we like a kind of changing our process, like something is like correcting ourselves, and to develop the self-improvement, and like really correct as much as our secret defect, and really to like to bring ourselves into the positive path. It doesn't matter. Everybody criticize. There is a development, 100%. But we say it's like we are like carrying a very arrogant, proud, negative, disturbance, and like doing all the times negative, like kind of it's like path of the negative way. Then is what is the arrogant, proud, like kind of self, like important? It's useless, meaningless. And therefore, it is like criticisms to make the self improve. And also, it's like a lot of nice things. And also, we recognize in the past our negative actions result, which is similar to the course, surely like this. And also, if you or if ourselves are the falsely accused, and criticize now, it is the effect of your having told lie in the past life, we can say. And also it's like maybe this criticism is like occurring because it's in the past our life, maybe we done some, it's like a lot of lying to the others. Lying is like a kind of, we need to sometimes very, very important things. And like I want to say some, Some is in our Western says, "Oh, I don't lie. Everything's warming up the front of the people." That is not really. It's like you are truthful. For example, if I were to say, it's like maybe someone is like some is a private sick, and maybe some is a private in the some defects in the your body or your verbally, mentally something. This is doesn't hurting to the others. If you tell to others, maybe more hurting, and maybe it's like a kind of the figure out or something like this. This kind of many is like some persons, they never tell the private, some is like things. If there is something hurting to the others, if you like not telling to that seriously, and then maybe it is not very good. Otherwise it's like to a little bit to kind of the, how to say, to keep liar kind of the, for example, if I'm say it's like uh, I haven't got, if I'm go to some place, I don't say any like kind of diabetic, okay, and maybe it's I myself, I'm taking care surely in my own understanding inside, but it's like I don't want to say like they don't know it's my sickness. But if I'm says like oh, I have diabetes, can you blah blah blah, and then is yeah, okay, and maybe then others said, yeah, this person is diabetic person, this person, then it's a little bit unpleasant. Maybe I say, why you repeat again like this? Have you seen before and some diabetic persons? Not, but see, yeah, the diabetic, blah blah blah. It's a little bit kind of the turmoil take make the problem. If I'm keep my secret like this, it doesn't hurting. It doesn't make problems. And like this sort of, it's a liar means it's like you cheating to the others, like kind of make it tricky. It's like a kind of the wrong way. It's like a kind of damage it. Like then it's, for example, we can to say it's like in the when we studies, someone says like to cheating to the others. Oh, I'm a Buddha. If you follow me, I will teach you. Oh, I realized that it's nature mind. Maybe a few years ago. Oh, really? Oh, yes. And also it's like I practice one deities. It's like really I realized it. I talked to this deity, made a lot of pleased. Now I have powers. Sometimes I can say, oh, I have power. Oh, yes. Power or poor, I don't know. And then it's like someone say, oh, I saw the ghost. I made subjugate or the punishment. Don't worry. This sort of liar, and through the lion, you like kind of taking to the others offerings, belongings. It is like kind of it. And also lions, cheaters. I make the history. Do you like to hear? Okay. There's a three thief persons. This maybe I wanted to say is maybe good. This is not ugly story, okay? In India, there is one sadhu. So one is like kind of the kind of practitioner. So I don't know, and he has one animal, goats. But there are three thieves want to take away this goat. But this practitioner goats is together all the time carrying like a dog. And what can we do? What can? And then this person is a very much sensitive mind. They understood. Very close, they talk sensitive. It's like all the time checking signs like this. Okay, let's make problems. And then they are like kind of to secretly, they one by ones waiting. And the first thief, they made, this says very loudly, this guy is taking one dogs. And then this in the India guys, not dog, it's my goats. I'm going. And second one say exactly like this. Are you taking dogs? No, he was a little bit upset. It's not dog, it's a goats. And third one is exactly said, you are taking the dogs. He was so upset and offended. And he gave our goats and he went. And then they robbed this, how do you say, goats. Like sometimes it's like this. Then it's like for example, liar means maybe someone's like follow up the causalities. Then some liar says, oh, causality is not existence, positive, negative, it doesn't work like this. For example, these days, I want to say, it's like, maybe it's like non-Buddhist, and someone's like completely against the like religious. They says, Buddha is like really not Buddha. He's the one is like problems in the kingdoms, and like Gautama, it's not a Buddha, blah blah blah. And also the Guru Rinpoche, also they say, he's not real, blah blah blah. And some people talk like this kind of the liar is coming, and finally people lost the faith, devotion, absolutely. And then it's like this. In this perspective, we need to analyze. For example, if you really to educate Buddha's teachings, then never follow. And like this, for example, this guy is like, he's really he's remained, is like he's on the, doesn't matter, whoever they say, God is God. God is not dogs. But his mind is not stable, it's a little bit saying, oh, okay, then give up. Like this, sometimes it's like when we are going to the positive path, and then someone's lied to us. Oh, don't need to do the positive. Positive is nothing to affect it. Negative, positive, no existent causality. You are free. And as the leg says, if you are follow up that causalities, you are not freedom. Oh, positive. Maybe that is true. In Chinese, like occupied in Tibet, really many happened. It's like some, and even in the monasteries, monks, they not much education, and just they be in the monastery. Maybe it's like financially or something. And also to be monastery, you receive some the offerings like this, but not much education. You can to set a mandala, torma, this be anzo, chup, these things is okay, but not much education. And then the revolution is coming. Now you don't need to follow the monastic rules. You take out your this ugly robe, and you can do whatever you want. No causality, no rituals. And really, then they're talking religious is poison. And then they say, oh, yes, today I'm freedom. And then there's one guy, he beat the Lama. You all the time is talking about the hell. Where is the hell? And then these Lamas looked at this guy's face. You are very stupid. And they big argue, why you say me stupid? Said, hell is this one. You are beating me. This is hell. But when you died, I will show you the hell. He was so shocked. I stopped. And then it's like, where is the causality? This is the causality, but well used. And sometimes it's people changed very, very much. And therefore, lying is sometimes, we lying to others to destroy to the others people's mind. Very careful, very much negative. And others lying to us, we also changed ourselves. It's not very good. Therefore, liar means you making believe to others and to do something bad things. And like this, also, of course, now I don't need to repeat again. You already studied like this. And then the experience effect is like a similarity cause in your life. Is whatever you do is like kind of the unpleasant to the others. All the time criticisms occur. Then it's people sometimes it's like a lot of accusations, criticize, and like this sort of, you didn't done nothing but someone's accused to you, and you didn't done nothing but someone's criticized to you, mocking to you, want to fight, like this sort of. And then it's like you cannot say, why? I never done nothing. Why? Sometimes our Western people say it's like, why I am sick, why I'm going to die. This we need to education, impermanent education, this sort of. It is the effect of our having taught lie in the past life. And we understood that, then it's like we should to be, not need to be angry. Instead of the getting angry and the howling insult at the people who say such things about you, be like grateful to them for helping you to exhaust the effect of many negative actions. And you should feel happy, cultivate the feeling of the happiness. Yes, like this. It's like a criticism is very nice. There's a like also quotation of the by the Jigme Rinpoche. And maybe it's like someone's criticized, do not need to be angry, and do not getting angry. And it's a howling insult. It's like kind of the not necessarily to bicker, or it's like a fight to this point, insult. And who say that things about you, say, oh, this person, that person's all the time. Whatever we do, direct criticism, indirect to criticism, and this kind of occurring, we don't need to argue, we don't need to fighting, we don't need to like kind of the angry, be it grateful. They says, oh, thanks. Maybe you criticize, maybe something you digging out my like kind of sickness. Maybe it's like a kind of the criticism. A criticizer is like a doctor, it's like a figure out our sickness of the error, like behaviors, characteristic, these negative behaviors, negative characteristics, and something is a negative things. And then it's like criticizer of the doctors to figure out this sickness. We can to change, we can to take the medicine of Dharma, and then we can to change. We become healthy and slowly become the most healthiest of enlightened man. Therefore, it's a wonderful like this. Helping ourselves, it's like a criticism can make the purification of our previous negative karmas, deeps of the layered things. Sometimes it's like when we are like a kind of the want some benefit ourselves, and then you can to lying and make kind of Chokyi to the others. That's kind of the we need to repayment. Then we need to like to be happy, cultivate feeling of the happy. Why? Because we find the path of the patient. We find the kind of the how to correct our own secret defects. And this is the antidote for our secret defects, which is the criticism and someone's insult to us. And there's many things, like if you really to practice patience and to accept the criticism had also a lot of qualities. Rinzin Jigme Rinpoche says like this, in enemy, repaying your good with bad makes you progressive in your practice. It is the wonderful lesson. It's an unjust accusation or a whip that steer you towards virtue. He is the teacher who destroying all your attachment and desire. Look at his great kindness that you never can repay. How you can to repay it? Dear Lord of people, some enemies did something very bad to you. For example, you can to say Jetsen Malaripa. He appreciated very much his uncle and aunties because they took his father's like a kind of portion of the heritage. They never give back, and they become his enemy. They are fighting. and they like kind of make sufferings. And finally, of course, he did bad things. And then he understood these causalities. And then he went to the Mara and follow up the Mara. He received the teachings. According that, then he became in the single life, be enlightenment. He's passed away more than almost reaching the 2,000 years. But this his story, wonderful biography is still there. And when I was childhood, it's my mother's very kind, very good method. She all the times asked to our three boys to read the Malaripa's history. It's wonderful. Really, it's like when we are reading Malaripa's history, everybody's crying. And also he's on the song, and his story is really like daily experience. When we had a child, after father died, and he became orphanage, and then they paid the relatives, they took his things, mother is suffering, sister is suffering, and then he was a little bit grow up, he wanted to revenge, and then his whole life struggling sending. Then it's like finally he became like enlightened like this. And then he said, if I haven't got any enemy of my relatives, maybe I can be married with Dzogchen. Dzogchen, he's like arrangement of the girlfriend before fathers died. And then I'm become normal guy. Okay, I can create a family, children, and just maybe farmer or nomad. Nothing is like nothing, just a normal person's lives. But my relative, uncle and auntie disturbed to me, and then it's like progressively, it's like my practice. And also that my relatives are like a great whip that steer to the like kind of towards virtues. According this disturbed, then it's like he's like received the whip. Whip means it's like, how do you say, to whip your whip to beating in the horse, and the horse more fast. Like this kind of the steer is like in how do you say, you drive, like how you can to change. Like this steer you change toward the virtue path. And then he said, thanks for my uncle and auntie. According this, like then I'm become enlightenment. I'm appreciate very much. And also it's like a animal enemies. For example, Malaripas, the uncle and aunties took everything. And when he come back from the Marvalota, and mother is like his house collapsed, mother's died, and the cope is under his house, and sister is too much poor and like kind of wandered into the village. And then it's like he's see like this. Now I understood this. He says like when I was, my father was there, I'm not there. I'm grow up, I'm like become adult, my father's not there. Be together is not useful, and better to useful things. I will practice Dharma. Like I mean, it's like then it's like he says like my belonging, my field, my land, my house is like making me desire attachment, and like kind of the attachment desire. Now it's everything is lost. Why I need to again to do something? Whoever wants to take away my house, my like kind of the field, my land, everything, I'm going to in the mountain to practice Dharma. And then his mind is free from the attachment, free from the desire. And like this, and this is to make him by his enemies. Maybe it's like his own enemy of the uncle and the empties. They never become his enemies. Maybe he can to more develop the house, to make the renovations years. Maybe he will make land bigger and bigger, busy and busy, like in Dharma City Sanghas, every day doing something. They never think about the impermanent, never practice them, every day doing something. They are not practitioner of the Dharma, you know. They are farmer, they are beggar, they are like, they are holy, they do this. But anyway, it is like this. Then they say, he says like this. And all the attachment, desire, and it's gone. The mind is free. Free from the hope, fear. And that is this kind of the created sort of like a situation created into the mind. Wow, wonderful. And then it's how I can to repay and to this kind of, and therefore it's some criticize, some enemies to making problem these things. Maybe it's the good. And like this. Now I'm moving in the next one is negative action by connect to the verb, sowing discord. Sowing discord, in Tibet you call that tamas. Tama means is making the problem between. Sometimes we have this already we studied, going between to make the separation. Like a rift. Last time say rift, yes? Or the crack, making crack between the people. And this kind of the experience effect similar to the cause, what has happened in this life by the negative action, sowing discord, effect similar to the cause of sowing discord is not only that our associate and prevent cannot get alone. And it's like kind of these ones cannot get along. All the times disagreement, you know, it is like, it's a little bit you be together and then there are a lot of disagreement because they use all the times but and but, yes and but, yes and but, disagreement. Then they say, I'm a fed up user. Then they don't choke each other. Then they one person's carry cup, one person's carry the teapot. Who is first to hit each other? One person's carrying the strawberry, one person span, and then they are going to beat each other. In the kitchen, everywhere is the fruits. Then they say, cannot get along. Just 5 minutes in the kitchen. Then what can we do? They're using but like this. And you cannot get. Only that our associate, you know, some servant means the boss and the service, they all the time disagreement. Boss says something to the service, and service says, yes, the but. And service says, let's do like maybe this. Boss says, yes, the but. They cannot get along. Impossible. And cannot get along with each other. But also that they are argumentative. And recall, how to call it this one? Huh? Pronunciation, okay? Chat. Chat is, there's another one. Chorchos. Discipline. Huh? recalcitrant, and recalcitrant, 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 and we can to say the recalcitrant is not really like a follow up the common rule, and then it's like it's very difficult to follow up the common rules and agreement, common like the sense or the common arrangement, and this is sort of a lot of kind of the different problems, argumentative. And also is for the most part the monks following the lamas. Also it's like really it's a lot of problems. Like for example, it's like some lamas has a very strange attendance, you know. It's a very much truth. Lama says something as a tendency to say, yes, and around retinues. Yes, yes, but it's why you need to say, why you do like this, blah, blah, blah. And also it's like the tendency to say something, agreement of the lamas. There are a lot of like kind of the difficult to be getting along and together. And also it's like attendance of the chief or the servant of the householder, and do not get along well among themselves. Like a kind of the someone is a service and the chief, they're difficult to separate, but they are together, but also difficult to get along. Why? Because it's like all the time is the disagreement. It's like it doesn't matter. It's just like whatever you say. And sometimes it's like some rich or boss or some server, like how do you say, it's like chiefs has a very strange like a servant. And normally you call the servant, but very much. For example, boss says, can you do like this? And sometimes like can't hear, looks like ignored, looks like deaf, or and like a kind of lot of don't listen. And it's like however many times they are asked to do something, they refuse it, obey, and argue defiantly, and all the time is, yeah, why you need to do like this? For example, maybe it's like many is like monasteries, I would to say, problems in the monasteries and dharma centers. Really, in the monasteries, sometimes it's like the head of the lamas, the manager, secretary, and there is like kind of the, we can say administrators. And then it's like this head of the lamas has different ideas. And if there's a manager and there's administrators don't like, they say, yeah, you say like this, but why we need to do like this? And they all the time refuse it. We have in Tibet a lot of problems. Even though sometimes holiness, yesterday I don't know to say it, but many in the past holiness also is like lost life, you know, politicians and organizations. It's the lamas. They have, he has different, but it's agreement, is the administrator. And then, yeah, holiness has this, we don't want to do, and maybe holiness against it, they want to kill. Even they did. But only this holiness, many kind of problem. And also it's like kind of dharma centers. We would to say it's like a lot of organizations that take the power and to control to the, maybe some is stupid lamas, theirs, maybe some is like really lamas, some is great masters, they never taking care, only through the organizations. And then is there's disagreement. They sometimes organizations kick out the lamas, and the lamas also kick out some this student administrator. There's a lot of disagreement. This is maybe is the negative defects of the soil discord. Maybe this is a result on the past. And also in the like a kind of our companies. Sometimes it says, we can take example of companies. Maybe it's like these employers, workers. Of course, they need job. They come into the office. Can you give me jobs? You give job, and also it's like boss is very strange. And also it's like the workers is also is like this. Boss says something, maybe workers is agreement, Why you do like this? Maybe we can do different perspective. Oh, I can't do that. What you say? And like this kind of argumentations, then it's like very difficult to separate it. But maybe that is in the past our lives, maybe we done a lot of soil discord. This result like this. Some companies boss has a very good worker. They are like kind of the cooperating together very well, and like kind of the chief taking care of the workers taking care of the company. Everything is going to very well. And maybe it's like someone's very difficult, and then there's corruption, there is like kind of the bankrupts, then there is like a lot of problems between chief, servers, boss, workers, like this. And also it's like whatever they like ordered, they don't want to do it. They like kind of the argue, defiantly said, oh yes, but I don't know why you need to do that. We'll let do like a better way, like this, there's this. For example, sometimes it's like some monasteries. Also, it's like some is some in the monasteries. When I grow up in the monasteries, it's really is the head of the monastery. This is the lama. We call the lama. Okay, guru is like maybe it's a person is like really to has a knowledge, not a kind of the stupid or like a kind of the strange lama. Maybe it's like really to like we can to check. It's like everything is doing precise and things, and why not? It's wonderful. We should to follow. For example, like this unbelievable things. Okay, sometimes in the monastery he is talking about lamas. Maybe some lamas has it's like a clairvoyance, maybe inner realizations, maybe knowledge, and they have educations. Maybe we can to say, okay, follow the. Maybe there is some. Maybe result is good things. Why not? And for example, my own says it's like kind of the some lamas, maybe families. They never is like agreement. Whatever is like the lama says. Even I have some is different teachers. One is my teacher has a very strange families. All the time is the lama says something, teachers or the Rinpoche say something against families. Yeah, why we need to do? For example, today it's like I need to give some student give empowerment. Yeah, yes, but why you need it today? Today so we have like this, that kind of problems. Maybe next week, and maybe it's big problems. Students maybe ask to that days, and then the Lama want to argue with family, make a war. It's impossible. Okay, need to follow. And that student refuse, postpones next week. And like this sort of all the times there is kind of agreement. And then someone's also activities completely blocked. And like this, then it's all the time is agreement like this. And like controlling each other. And like this, it's like also it's like some out in the Western Dharma centers. Look, someone's a little bit too developed. The organization, administrators take the power as they kick out of the Lama. Oh, don't need to go away. You are not really. Now we understood. Take the power, criticize. And also it's like a kind of sometimes some strange lamas, they also become the dictatorship. And they say, yeah, this, like this. This kind of maybe it's disagreement, not nice things. Also is occurring. Maybe it's negative result on the past. we did a lot of sowing discord. And maybe in this result, there's a lot of like kind of refuse to obey each other, refuse they like kind of the comment each other. All the times using but. Never ever cooperating together. Impossible. And then it's like kind of the argumentation all the time. And also he said that the hard servant of the ordinary peoples pretended not to hear when asked to do chores, chores like small things, activities. Even easy ones, the master of the house has to repeat the order 2 or 3 times. Sometimes it's like to some householder or families has service. Maybe you pay, give job, and say, okay, can you clean today this living room? Sometimes these servants can't hear. Hey, do you hear me? Can you clean this the living room? Don't hear. Third, hey, can you clean living room? Oh, okay, yeah. You ordered me. Oh, okay, I will do it. And also it's like doing, yeah, I clean that. No, there's dirty still. Oh, what? And this kind of never ever making happy things. Oh, you ordered to me, I did, but then is the owners coming, need to do again and again. Then they are not very happy each other, It doesn't get alone. And this kind of sometimes, yes, I hated my service. Servants say, I hated my boss or landlord or something like this. Very bad. Then is in this perspective, what can we do in the Dharma point of view? Maybe I result that karmic effect. Maybe in the past, maybe I done some lot of negative, like, sowing discord. And in this perspective, maybe I need to obey whatever to say. And also it's like I never use but, I need to accept first times. For example, I want to say, but sometimes you say it's like, I need to use but. For example, maybe you are not smoking, okay? If someone say, please can let's together smoke, and smoke is very nice, feelings good, then you say, yes, but it's not good, I don't want. It's like maybe you offend. Maybe you say, yes, means what is not, And then it's finally, slowly, maybe you need to find some solutions nicely. Maybe it's like if you are clever. Maybe you say, I'm headache. Maybe you can say it's like 2 examples. Someone's taking the smoke, they died by the long sickness. Last time I'm cough a lot, then maybe it's like someone smoke, get that, then I'm sick. And then I cannot to give you the smokes. Normally, this like that. Then this other one's not angry. This is worst things. And if you don't reject to the alcohol, someone says, let's do drinks. Yes, but alcohol is normal, very bad. We are Buddhist, I cannot. Other ones become very bad. Today's party, let's drink something. Okay. And then it's the really is like this. Maybe you use some methods like this. Maybe, last time is like people to really good persons all the time find. Last time their groups drink too much. Then finally one person fell into in the street and crashed the face. Oh really? Oh yes. Or they drink too much. They like kind of beat each other. Today is one is in the hospital. Yeah. Normally, this alcohol is bad. And then what can we do? We can drink a little bit. Maybe it's too much. And then there is your command is coming. Correction is coming to slowly like this. Then immediately you say, yes, but it's alcohol is forbidden, blah, 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 blah. Like this kind of worst activity. Therefore, sometimes it's like if you understood sewing discourse affect sometimes many kind of the disagreement we can occur in our family, our societies, our communities, and this perspective we want to make it a harmony. And the first person to say something, you don't need to laugh, you don't need to reject, you don't need to say immediately, oh yes, that you are right, not necessary. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, and we can to share, we can to okay analyze them, and therefore it's like family situations, many things is you them. Sometimes it's like some is education, coding education, coding the proud, coding the civilizations. It's like a way of the thinking is I am the best, I am the good person, I have education, this and that, I know everything. What you say? You say things is stupid. You doing things is stupid. And also it's like these things not correct. This kind of coming into our mind is a very big defect. And then is whatever others doing, saying things we cannot accept. And then it's like in this perspective we need to change them. Then it's like become more affect, so you discuss karmic affections and occurring. Then it's like a kind of proliferating more and more and more to doing the negative things. And therefore, sometimes if some is like this kind of situations occurring, maybe closer to your family, your sangha, your friends, it's a little bit disagreement, and all the time it's difficult to communicate, difficult cooperating together, do not need to become angry, do not need to say it's like a fed up, and just to kind of a little bit kind of to practice patience, to concern the, I think it's our own negative dips on the past, which is the negative action of the sewing discourse. Like therefore, it's like very important things to follow up like this. Then it's like this. It is also only when at last the gets angry and speak harshly to them that they do what they were asked. Slowly, angry legs, gradually, I don't know, groggily, groggling. Okay, this is like kind of, this is not like a normal word, yes? Huh? Huh? Grudgingly. Okay, grudgingly. Grudgingly, maybe gradually, slowly, and then there's a boss or lama or it's like a chief or like then they finally to shouting says, oh, can you do it this one? Then other ones unhappily is they doing. Unhappily doing it, but it's not really slowly. And maybe this person need to 1 hour need to finish it, but taking 2-3 hours. And you say it's like not finished. Of course, it's not easy. Maybe you can do it. This guy. And this kind of sometimes happened. And this is also maybe is the result of the soyam discord. And also it's like one is like finished, never report. Maybe you need to report. It's like it's immediately when you like order things, you're done, and after immediately report, they inform to the boss, but not. Even like when they have finished, they do not bother to come back and tell him. They are like kind of the permanently in a bad mood. And also this is a very, very much truth. It is like this. And also it's like when they done, normally maybe this boss or owner or a chief or a lamas, they ask to the servant or the workers, can you do this? Okay, they done. Maybe this person can't do check. I don't want to confirm. And then later they ask, did you done? Yes, of course I done before. Why you didn't check? Then why you don't inform me? Why I need to inform? Like this is like even they don't to tell them. And also it's like, and to showing all the times bad mood. And this sort of, even the, sometimes in the family situations, and like couples, sometimes many happen like this, and parents, children like this happen, brothers and sisters like this, brother, and a lot of this kind of problems. Like when you're a little bit angry, then it's showing very bad mood. Bad mood is not really is the pleasant things, and like this. Okay, maybe do you have some questions? Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche. From Laurent Cavalina. Good morning, Rinpoche.
Good afternoon.
When we experience a state of well-being in the morning, for example, and a less pleasant state in the afternoon during meditation or non-meditation, you said that sometimes it was like a demon when we feel good. Do we have to examine what is behind these states, or just contemplate them, or just examine the mind? It is sometimes misleading when pleasant sensations arrive at this moment. Thank you.
Thank you for your teaching. Yes, that's right. There's no questions. You're just telling to me something, yes? It's wonderful teaching. Thank you, Lord. Huh? Where's questions?
Do we have to examine what is behind these states, or just contemplate them, or just examine the mind? It is sometimes misleading when pleasant sensations...
There is the answer. There is misleading, yes. This is your give question and you give answer.
Thank you. Then from Hamako Oka. I worry about the worldwide outbreak of locusts or grasshoppers, big insects. Grasshoppers.
Grasshopper?
Grasshopper. Crickets. Locust.
Grasshopper. Ah, grasshopper. Okay. Now I understand. In Africa, they make a candy. These animals, they eat a lot. Yeah, yeah. I understand now.
Big insects, especially in Africa, very much.
Yes.
When the big fire burned in Australia, I prayed for raining. I mainly recite Dorje Gotra for the settlement of the coronavirus. Then, what can I pray? For example, the mantra of Vajrasattva or Tara, or anything, to prevent us from killing those insects or killing each other.
How do you call the grass?
Hopper.
Grasshopper. Okay, Hamako. It's very good. Do not worry about the world wildly. Of course, worried, you say worried, but you or me cannot become the grasshopper. And also it's like and the other one is what she said is one is a grasshopper, another animals, oh fire, and also it's like a natural disaster of the fire, burning lot of grass animals, and also pandemic, a lot of kind of this kind of the natural disaster. Yes, but we cannot become grasshopper. We cannot to become the fire. We cannot become the pandemic. I think, generally speaking, if we become grasshopper, very bad, and causing the disturbing emotions, worst grasshopper or grass. How do you say? Grass. Or say grasshopper, and Yura said grasshopper. Okay, grasshopper. It's then can destroy all the continents. If we become the fire causing the disturbing emotions, worst fire, we can to burn all the worldwide universe. And also it's like we become the pandemic, as there's no antidote. We can to kill all the living beings. Therefore, we need to become taking care to take the antidote of the dharmas. Never become the grasshopper, never become the fire, never burn to the others, never eat other grass, and also never make problem to others. We never become the pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you. Amy Nakamoto asks, I feel strong aversion to the negative actions of other people. I think I can slowly manage with my mind by cultivating forgiveness inside myself, but it will surely take some time. If there is anything we can do, is there anything we can do exactly at the moment when aversion arises?
Yes, you can do. You angry to others, negative actions. Maybe also you doing negative actions. They angry with you, yes? Surely you are not Buddha. I never heard some Buddha. Yet maybe you will become Buddha. Also, you also doing a lot of negative, things. Then everybody needs to angry with you? No. And who is doing the negative actions? Maybe you, sorry to say. We think it's like others doing negative actions. Maybe that is the wrong. Sometimes we are cats to be in the mirror, reflect in the mirror, very strange cats. We are angry in the reflection, but in the mirror there's no strange cats. We think it's the reflection of the other beings to doing negative actions. We're angry, that means we need to anger our own self. If you never ever do the negative actions, then you can become angry at others' negative action.
Thank you. Hamako Uka, I have one request to Rinpoche. There are always some people who always says lies about his or her friends, thinking that a small lie is no problem. They also think that if she later confesses to Lama or to Buddha, he or she will be forgiven. So she never says directly sorry to the person whom she lied. As a result, her friend tries to keep natural connection with her, but inside they cannot believe that any of his or her words. So please teach us about importance not to tell even a small lie.
Not need to teach. You do not need to lie. That's fantastic. Others, someone's lying, they don't trust each other. We don't know, we cannot to manage. You need to manage yourself. If you do not lie, you do not to harm me to others, then we are prostrating to you. Wonderful, you are a great Dharma practitioner. Otherwise, you say others to lie, others making problems. You are the omniscient? I'm not sure. Okay.
Thank you. Dinara Zai, Rinpochela, thank you very much. First, when I do offering, can I think that by this action I am accumulating merits, or is this idea also a kind of attachment?
Yes, positive attachment. And you're doing something benefit for other sentient beings. And this benefit is to making the freedom, happiness to the other sentient beings. You have attachment, positive attachment. Don't worry. You have more positive attachment, fantastic.
And she asks, how can we not fall in despair when you understand that all problems you have is a result of your own actions? At the moment when you are suffering, if you understand that this is the result of your own actions, it makes me suffer even more.
Yes, absolutely. When you eat poison, you sick. How you are concerning? You don't need to concerning what you ate it, or you need to concern. If you already ate the poisons, then you're sick. And you concern or not concern, maybe you're sick. If you concern, why I ate medicine, maybe you ate poison, maybe you have regret, you more the like kind of the pain, but you maybe rely more antidote. You're taking more like kind of the medicine in order to cure. Therefore, good to concerning on the past negative action of the poison. Wonderful. To this kind of pain is good. Sometimes the compassionate is very much pain to see the sorrow of the sentient beings. But this pain is a compassion pain. It's lead you more happiness in the futures.
Thank you. Alan Marcel, he asks, if someone is very reluctant to listen to criticism, like me, would you advise to organize specific moments for critics which the criticized can prepare with altruistic intention? I should clarify, my question is related to work relationships.
Works relationships. Works relationships. Yeah, criticize workers, criticize the relationship or the any kind of criticize. Whenever you receive any kind of the criticism from the spiritual path or the worldly path, and criticism, to deal the criticism to accept it, to correct our own secret defects, they're good. At least to someone's criticize, we can to practice patience. That is the positive path. Why not? Be happy.
Thank you. Olga Amirova asks, how do purification and confession work? Do they change the effects of wrong actions, or are all effects unchangeable? Then purification create better effects but can't remove existed.
Who is translating? This is the Russian, yes? Who translate this? Nobody. Huh? Senior? And herself. Okay. Can you read again?
I'll try again. Sorry. She asks, how do purification and confession work? Do they change the effects of wrong actions, or are all effects unchangeable? Uh, does purification create better effects? Um, but can't remove the existed actions, I guess.
Can be actions. I think it's compassion. And what it says first? Purification or confession and compassions. How it is change. I think it's change.
Sorry, I think she means to ask, how does the purification and the confession work? Do they actually change the effects of previous wrong actions in any way? Or are those actions unchangeable? What is actually being purified, and how does the confession process work in
That is,
relation to those
I'm
actions?
also, okay, that is, I mean, say it's a kind of given. Okay, purification, say, past negative action is your dirtiness. Maybe you worked and also you never take shower. And then it's like this dirty is your representative of the negative actions. And now you are taking shower. Your shower is the representative of the purification. And like purifications, purify this, follow up this systematic way, and like kind of the Vajrasavas. Then you are on the bath, on the shower, and you take each moment your dirty is going out or not. Or as much as you put soap, shampoo, and candle cleaning things in your body, water, your dirty is washable or unwashable. If you washed, your body is changed, yes? Your body is released from your dirty. Purification. And also the best purifier is the compassion. Best shower, best water, best kind of the shower gel is the compassion. They change to you. Your bodies become shine and absolutely. Bodies means the representative of your mind. And your body or mind or the verb doesn't matter. And it's can to change. Changed. Compassions, very much. And purifications. Compassions change or not changed. We can to see. Maybe someone is like beaten you. You angry, suffering, and very much anxieties. And certainly this person's changed. Compassion, hug you, give present, say sorry. Change the atmosphere. Maybe you are still crying, but you are laughing. You completely change. This is changing process. The one is like you be sad, and then it's forever. No, not at all. Once you become dirty, you cannot clean up. No. Like this, compassion, purifications, changing absolutely. Don't worry. The other questions?
Yes, thank you very much. Terence Su asks, do you suggest to take silent vow for one day at home to our family members to avoid saying any word provoking negative thoughts? If yes, how to organize it properly?
I'm not sure in your families. Very strange. Your families are Buddhist. Why you need to be the silent to take vows? Maybe you go to in the Buddhist areas, you do that. Maybe your families, and you don't want to argue with them. You don't need to follow up the gossip things, and you can to be quiet your mouth, and to have the mindfulness what you are saying things. You don't need to make ceremonies, taking the silent vows in your families. I don't know.
Thank you. Kurumi Kaneko
Coronavirus.
Kurumi? Kurumi Kaneko says Hamako would like to know what she could do for grasshopper problems. For example, recite Vajrasattva Uttara or something.
You yourself sending a message to Hamako, you yourself do not become the grasshopper. Other these animals, they can come, they disappear. We don't know really, but you yourself never become the grasshopper. Okay? Finished. Okay. Okay. 5 minutes we can 10 minutes rest.